Loyalty or delusion? That's the debate running through NBA Twitter right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo just shut down trade talks with Golden State, Miami, and Minnesota to stay with a struggling Milwaukee team. Some fans are praising him for being one of the last real stars who doesn't chase easy rings. Others are saying he's throwing away his prime for a franchise that's already proven it can't build around him. Both sides are loud. Both sides are convinced they're right. And the only thing that'll settle this debate is what happens between now and October, when Giannis has to make his next big decision. To understand why Giannis stayed, you need to understand what Milwaukee means to him. Back in 2013, the Bucks took a chance on a skinny 18-year-old kid from Greece with the 15th pick. His overall athleticism and explosiveness had not yet been seen. But over the next 8 years, they built around him, and he rewarded them by becoming a two-time MVP and delivering their first championship in 50 years. In 2021, he dropped 50 points in Game 6 of the Finals, sealing it with a free throw. That's not just a contract relationship. That's a bond built over 13 years of grinding together from lottery team to champions. The Bucks went all in, trading for Damian Lillard and adding Miles Turner in free agency. The plan was simple: give Giannis the pieces he needed to compete for another title. But the 25-26 season tested that promise in ways nobody expected. Milwaukee is currently 21-29, 12th in the Eastern Conference. Giannis has only played 30 games because of a recurring calf injury. On January 23rd against Denver, he went down again with the same injury, putting him out for another 4 to 6 weeks. When he's been on the court, he's been elite. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 5.6 assists per game. That's competitive, but it's nowhere near championship level. And that gap between his individual brilliance and the team's struggles is what brought us to the trade deadline. For the first time in Giannis's entire career, Milwaukee started listening to offers. Not just answering calls, actually engaging, countering proposals, exploring what a future without him might look like. The Warriors pushed hard to pair him with Steph Curry. The Heat wanted to build around him. The Timberwolves got involved. These weren't just rumors. Teams were putting real packages on the table, and Milwaukee was seriously considering them. That's when Milwaukee made the call. Giannis stays. The Warriors moved on. The Heat turned. The Timberwolves shifted focus. And right after the deadline passed, Giannis posted on Instagram a clip from The Wolf of Wall Street with the caption, "Legends don't chase, they attract." It was a clear message. He wasn't forcing his way to a contender. He wasn't taking the easy path. He was staying to see if Milwaukee could figure it out. But sources say both sides will re-examine everything in the offseason, which means this isn't over. It's just delayed. So why did he stay? Because Giannis has been consistent for 13 years about one thing. He wants to win in Milwaukee, not somewhere else. And the numbers back up why he might still believe that's possible. But over the last 7 seasons, the Bucks have posted 368 wins, the most in the NBA, while the Boston Celtics were a close second with 366 wins. And the Denver Nuggets were third with 355 wins. They've maintained a winning percentage above .600 despite constant changes. They made the Eastern Conference Finals in 2019 and semifinals in 2020, won the championship in 2021, and when Giannis is on the court, their offense scores 121.7 points per 100 possessions, the best in the league. Beyond Giannis, pieces are developing. Ryan Rollins is averaging 17 points and 6 assists while shooting over 40% from 3, turning into a legitimate Most Improved Player candidate. Kevin Porter Jr. adds backcourt depth. When Giannis looks at this roster, he sees potential. He's not chasing an easy ring. He's betting on Milwaukee putting it together. But there's a bigger reason he stayed, and it has everything to do with October 1st, 2026. That's the day Giannis becomes eligible for a contract extension. According to league officials, there are 2 ways this plays out. The first is that Milwaukee offers him a 4-year, $275 million extension, and he signs it, betting the team can bring in enough help to compete. The second is that he declines, and with only 1 guaranteed year left on his contract after this season, Milwaukee would have no choice but to trade him. They can't risk losing a generational talent for nothing. That October date is the real deadline. not February 5th. Everything happening between now and then is about convincing him to sign that extension. And if the Bucks can't do it, those trade conversations come right back, except next time Milwaukee won't have the leverage to say no. What makes this so significant for the rest of the NBA is what didn't happen. If Giannis had been traded, the entire league would have shifted overnight. The Warriors, with Giannis and Curry, become an instant dynasty. The Heat builds a new big three. The Eastern Conference falls into chaos. But by staying, Giannis is proving something important, that small market teams can still keep their homegrown superstars if they stay committed to winning. He's rewarding patience instead of shortcuts. His decision also changes the calculus for every other team. If Milwaukee gets healthy and Giannis returns strong in March, they could climb into the top 6 in the East. That shifts playoff matchups and forces contenders to stay aggressive. But let's be honest about the challenges ahead. 3 straight first-round exits since 2021. A current 21-29 score sheet. Injuries piling up. Lillard's inconsistent fit. Defensive struggles. At 31, Giannis is in his prime and doesn't have years to waste. The Bucks also face a strategic problem with their draft situation. They have a 23% chance at a top 4 pick, potentially getting access to prospects like A.J. Debonsa or Darren Peterson. But Giannis plans to return once he's cleared. He won't sit out to tank. If he plays and they make the play-in, they pick no higher than 15th. If they don't play him, they risk losing his trust. Adding to the complexity, Milwaukee doesn't fully control its pick. Atlanta gets the higher selection between the Bucks and Pelicans. Milwaukee gets the lower one. With New Orleans at 1440, the Bucks should pick in the back half of the top 10. Best case, they swap with New Orleans and pick as high as 2nd. Here's what it all comes down to. Giannis is staying because, after 13 years of building this franchise from the ground up, he believes they deserve one more real chance. Not because his contract forces him, not because he lacks options, because he genuinely believes in what they're building. The extension window opens on October 1st. If Milwaukee turns this around, makes a playoff run, and shows him they're serious, he might sign that $275 million deal and retire the greatest Buck ever. But if they can't, the trade rumors return, and Milwaukee loses its leverage. Giannis returns in March. 20-plus games to save a season and possibly a legacy. The NBA is watching. Giannis chose to stay. Now Milwaukee has to prove it made the right call.